Nikita, and Nikita is a Stellers sea eagle. A Stellers sea eagle. In this country, we do have sea eagles. In fact, there are sea eagles all around the world, and they all do pretty much the same job. Take fish off the surface of the water. They eat a lot of carrion, and carrion and friendly children is just dead things. And to be honest, this is the biggest of all the sea eagles and spends his life in a really remote part of the world, an awful long way from here, eastern Russia, Japan and Korea. There's a peninsula called Kamchatka, and that's where you will find the Stellers eagle at home. But it is a land of extremes, wild, tundra regions, volcanoes, and it is very, very tough in winter time. Temperatures drop down 20, 30, maybe even 40 degrees below freezing. And that means that, well, first of all, you've got to need to store a lot of meat on you to get through those hard periods of time when there is no food available. But also, if you're eating things straight out of the freezer, can you imagine getting a leg of lamb out of the freezer and then trying to eat it? Break up your teeth. This bird has got a very serious tin opener to be able to break into frozen meals. And to be honest, most of its diet is fish that he gets by basically just waiting in the side of a river, waiting for these frozen fish to come down into a place where the water is not frozen, and that's where it spends most of its time around watering holes, eating frozen salmon. The salmon go upstream to swarm and breed in literally hundreds of thousands, and just like bald eagles and white bags, they want to just go in at that far side over there. And what I want to do eventually is to fly up onto the top of the castle, but this is only a third day of work, and you can see that massive big beak is already open, and she's saying, look Dad, I'm absolutely cream-cracking, and what we have to do is build the fitness, and of course we do that by making her do lots of let me get too far away. But by introducing somebody else at the other side, we can actually make her do a little bit more work. And she'll be absolutely cream-cracking by the time that she's finished this exercise. And it really does cost her a lot of energy. When she has to fly to the top of the castle, she usually takes off and goes out over the far side of the castle here. And that, of course, is probably the best place to get any kind of lift. If she doesn't flap those wings, then of course she falls out of the sky because she's so incredibly heavy. But once she has a bit of fresh air underneath those wings, just the far side over there, but because we're in the courtyard, we can't actually see what she's doing. And so all of that energy soaring around on the far side of the castle will just be wasted. So we're taking the opportunity to bring her in here so that you can see it up close and personal. It's not every day that you get to see one of the largest eagles in the world right up close and personal. The Nikita incidentally is quite a rare bird, and where she comes from in eastern Russia, Japan and Korea, there's probably a world population of about 5,000 breeding birds. So quite a rare bird. She was born next. But because they're in a zoological world, they're able to take one chick away for 5 or 10 days until they can actually get enough strength to be able to put up with that bickering and fighting initially. And then once the birds are actually able to sort of stop each other from fighting each other, then the more insurance. When we got Nikita, she hadn't actually flown at all. She was 3 years of age, very different to this bird that you see in front of you. She was actually completely black all over. Even her beak was black. She has got this lovely adult plumage as she started to get a little further on the line. And it's taken hands, and her claws are about 2 inches across, on the front and the back ones. And of course she can catch things.
But as she gets fitter, then she recovers quicker. I mean, even if you're fit, you pant fairly quickly, but it's how long it takes you to recover from that. So she is actually fit, and if something was to scare her, she can do miles and miles and miles. But yeah, they can, but they do that on rested wings. They don't sort of go they just go around in big circles, go up, and then tilt, and go across, and then start again, you know. I'll just gently go along this way.
Come on, Kelsey. Let's go eat.
What are you doing? salivated or thought of eating a juicy bone or something like that. So she's still in food mode, and she knows full well that she's going to still get another piece of food to go in the vehicle so that we can get it up and down here. She's 8 years of age, and she's old enough to breed now. In this winter time, we did put her in with a male, and although they got on... How old is it? It's 8 years of age.
Is that fully grown now?
Yeah, it says birds reach their full size very quickly, about 3.5 months, something like that. It came from that big to this big. Yeah. And then they sort of develop a bit of muscle, but essentially they're as big as they're going to get at that point. Okay, I'm going to have to love you and leave it because my arm is about to fall off. Not the camping room, but if you want to come down... Run this out.
Give me a break. My God, I liked him. It's not work or